Looks like we're on. It looks like the connection tonight is so much better, and I'll wait for you all to get on. It looks like that's starting to occur. So I'll let her. Hey, Indiana. Hi, Laura from Indiana. How are you tonight? You're the only one I see right now, so I get to say hi to Laura alone by herself. There we go. Chicago, Alabama, Ohio. How's Ohio doing tonight? Minnesota, Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide, as they say. Colorado, Miami. Hello, Kathy, around the corner. Kathy's one of my favorites. Greensboro, North Carolina. Texas. We have some Texas patients in the house today. That was fun. Boston, Nevada, Jersey, South Florida again. Sault Ste. Marie. What was that? Sault Ste. Marie. Oh, I gotta go find that one again. Sault Ste. I haven't heard of that before. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Cool. Sunny, sunny Buffalo. That can be a joke, but it also can be true. Massachusetts and Maryland. Hello, Desiree. Hello, Francesca. Tori, Angela. I'll start saying some names. Vivian. Drew. Great name, Drew. Martha, hello. Martha on Facebook, or I'm sorry, YouTube. Hello, Glove from Canada. Vegas. Fawn from CW. Sarah, Santa Cruz, California. Los Angeles, California, Beth, out in YouTube land. A lot of California, I love it. And then Melinda, my favorites from Australia. Darlington, Maryland, good. I have a ton of family in Maryland. Illinois, soon Colorado. Yeah, so I have people who move states because they watch this show. So, whatever works for all of you. Okay, let's dive in. Dr. Dean has some from last night's show that I was supposed to show you, and then I have a whole other show tonight, so I'm trying to combine everything. Hello, Natalie, Adelaide, South Australia. Des Moines, Iowa from Alex. I know Alex. Fantastic. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. Jeremy Ryan Slate, one of my favorite podcasters in the world. He is fantastic. I've been on his podcast. He's amazing. Go listen to his podcast. He's great. I like to tell you everyone who is great out there. Okay, I like to push good energy out there to everyone else too. Sarah Outlaw, my good friend. Did I see Antifa calling in to Dr. Fraser Crane from the show Fraser? No. Please send me that link. I have to see it. If you have the Dr. Fraser Crane video of Antifa calling in, I must watch that tonight. Please send that over. Somebody message it to me and I will go find it. Okay. I love you too, Buffalo. I love all of you. Perth, Western Australia. So I have an Australia story for you, and I've never been to Australia. I had a friend in chiropractic school who was hardcore atheist, and I'm the opposite of an atheist. But I respect him. He was a good person, and he was from Australia. And I asked him. I said, I would like to go to Australia someday. Do you have any advice? And he said, yes. If you're gonna go, minimum 2 weeks. Hello, Queensland, Australia. Minimum 2 weeks to Australia because the time zone is so strange and so far off that you need at least 2 weeks there to actually enjoy yourself. So that's my small Australia story. I will go someday because I have a lot of Australia followers and I love all of them. You're patriots in Australia. Let's get down to it. So I posted probably a few weeks ago that I am not allowed to be monetized on YouTube. So I subscribe, or I put in my application I put my application in a long time ago and it got kicked back for something. And then I put it in again about a month ago or so. And the interesting thing was I went to check out why, and they said, no, we will not monetize your channel because I speak of unscientific things that they don't want on YouTube because they don't want me to lead the public down the wrong healthcare direction. So they said I violate a policy in YouTube, which is talking about how healthcare really works, because YouTube is part of the draconian government, the draconian, and you can take that for what it is, what Dracos and draconian is. Draconian laws come from a source, right? And YouTube is fully in that. So I appreciate YouTube for getting these videos out live streaming, but they will not monetize me because they just won't allow it, because I speak, by the way, just so you know, let me see if I can lay on a proper amount of sarcasm, okay? And I'm from New York, so I can do sarcasm with the best of them. I teach you every single night pseudoscientific ways to go about getting healthy, because vitamins, minerals, and good food, supplements, and chiropractic, they are dangerous because they're not proven, and we will only get people healthy if they continue to watch and follow the medical system, because orange prescription bottles are the only way that you'll ever achieve true health in the American medical system. So that's the reason why I am not monetized on YouTube. Now, why do I bring monetization up on YouTube? Because I'm going to show you an article from Zero Hedge, who also is having a bit of a problem with monetization. So let's show you here. Good. Google demonetizes Zero Hedge as well. And Zero Hedge is actually, it's not my favorite, but Zero Hedge is actually a pretty good website for news aggregation, right? So apparently Zero Hedge, who also puts out really quality news from different sources, and they tend to be very down the middle, not libertarian necessarily, but just journalists. See, there's this weird thing called journalism, where you just solely give out facts and let people decide how they feel about those facts and which side they would like to come down on. So right here, the one who wrote it, Tyler Durden, wrote, as you may have read on NBC, Google has decided to suspend ad hosting on the far-right Zero Hedge, which apparently can be anything from batshit insane Austrian school blog to Russian propaganda, or framed in any other way that serves the agenda of those who disagree with our views, which apparently is a lot of people. Okay. They also did demonetize The Federalist, which is also a fantastic news medium, but Google's trying to say we never monetize it. Google, you know what Google does? Google, which owns YouTube, Google's full of shit. They lie all the time, okay? So I didn't even get mad about this, but it gets me fired up, because what we're in, right? We're in a crazy world where we burn books. By the way, real quick, because I almost forgot, and thank you for saying it, Craig. Craig Gilham sent me this wonderful shirt. I apologize in advance. And he wrote a nice little note, which is in my book bag, and I forgot to take out. He wrote me a nice little note that said, sometimes when I drop something heavy on you guys, I always say, I apologize if this upsets anybody, which is not really it's too politically correct, because I should just drop it on you guys. But I really do, I care about people's feelings who are patriots. I don't care about the snowflakes and the millennials necessarily and their feelings, right? We're going to run over those feelings because their feelings are based in Marxist laws from academia that they came from, and BS programming and television. So I sometimes apologize in advance, but not tonight, okay? So back to Google, they suck because they're trying to take over the world, and they're essentially digitalizing book burning today. Okay, that's what we're in right now. So if there's something they don't agree with, they will destroy the narrative, okay? Or they will destroy the medium that comes with it. And it's they're just running over everybody. It's literally insane, okay? Now, I'm going to take you into the next video, because I can only rant so much on this stuff, because at this point, you guys know that Google's a piece of crap. Google owns, by the way, they also own YouTube. They own Gmail. They own a bunch of stuff across the board, probably stuff you don't even know about, okay? We're also going to go into another part of the media tonight in a couple minutes here that also controls way too much, and they're led by a lot of really bad people. So we're going to go into that. So let's go to our next video, though, because apparently Laura Ingraham is a little fed up with Dr. Fauci, which is a good time to be bringing this up because get ready. We're going to be heading in pretty soon, probably mid to late summer to fall of COVID 2.0 season, okay? COVID 2.0 season. Never mind all the viruses, bacteria, parasites, mold, funguses that surround your head and your body every single day that you can't see, right? But those pesky masks, you know, they only work on COVID. They don't work on any other viruses that are circulating out around your brain right now. Okay. I wasn't fired up, but now I'm kind of getting fired up, okay? Here we go. Let's take you to what Laura Ingraham has to say about Dr. Fauci.
Fauci, a man obviously suffering from media withdrawals, he resurfaced over the weekend in what can only be described as a one-man effort to depress us all. Now that we're slowly starting to get our lives back, ever so slowly, he told a British newspaper, "I would hope that we could get back to some degree of normality within a year or so, but I don't think it's this winter or fall." The medical deep state strikes again.
the medical deep state. I'm not gonna lie. There's maybe someday, maybe my second calling after being a doctor, or my third calling, whatever it is at this point. Maybe my next calling is to be on. I don't want a mainstream. You know what I really want? I don't want mainstream media. I don't want a Fox News. I want the $100 million deal on Spotify that Joe Rogan got. But what I love is the fact that Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson, there's a couple on Fox Business, and I don't even watch. I don't watch these channels anymore. Like I just happen to catch the clips on Twitter. But I love that they just don't care anymore. Like they just literally, it's so absurd and over the top at this point that it doesn't matter anymore. They don't care. So Laura Ingraham is calling Dr. Fauci, who is supposedly the king of the coronavirus COVID-19 task force. That, do you think now that, in Hannity too, yes, Hannity doesn't care anymore. And by the way, I am not shills for the Laura Ingrahams, the Tuckers, the Hannitys of the world, because I think they serve a purpose and they have some good information, but I don't think all of them are very woke. I think some of them are a little more woke than others. But at this point, did President Trump do a good enough job of literally letting Dr. Fauci throw himself under a bus to the point where Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson, probably others are calling him the medical deep state, and they're laughing about it, right? So everyone was worried about, oh my gosh, is President Trump really in love with Fauci? Is Birx and Fauci like, does he know? Does he know? Does he know? Well, he never even had to fire him. He just let them look like complete morons on national television in front of you, to the point that Laura Ingraham is now calling him medical deep state and laughing at him. Meaning, basically, he looks like a fool, a clown. And I think that was always the intention. Completely always the intention. Now, would you like to hear some more of medical deep state? All right. Let's go into this video, because this one actually has to do with, and I don't have my book here in front of me, but as I read more and more of Target Africa, I'm going to tell you, I would love for you all to go buy it, support the lovely woman who wrote it. You're not going to necessarily agree with 100% of it, but man, most of it is like dead on, and it is deep, and you will understand. Once you read this book, you will understand more and deeper what is going on. I think it is absolutely a shame that Americans don't know enough about what's going on in Africa. And I will be honest with you, I was one of them until I started reading this book. But the destruction of civilization and human beings is unbelievable in that continent, in those countries. Okay, let me take you to this now, because I never tell anybody that I'm anti-medicine because I'm really not anti-medicine. I don't like medicine, but I believe there's a time and place for emergency medicine. So I even told one of our staff today who was thinking about going to medical school at one time, and she literally just said, like, I can't go to medical school at this point. Like, I know too much, but she wants to go into administration. And I said, because ultimately at the end of the day, the only time and place for medication really should be for catastrophic insurance care, meaning a traumatic injury, close to death, something along those lines where you're trying to save a life. But other than that, it's destructive, right? I see this every single day. It's destructive. We're destroying people's lives with medical care, right? Now, let me take you to this video, because this video not only talks about medical care and Black Lives Matters, but it talks about how we kill hundreds of thousands, millions of unborn black children every year through the magical word abortion. Now, listen to their reactions when he calls them out.
Lives matter, or just some black lives? The black lives killed by black men matter, right? Yes? The black babies killed in the abortions clinics matter, right? Thought so. The black officers killed by that bastard in Minnesota, that matters too, right? Okay. But the black babies that are killed in the abortion clinics don't matter, do they, medical people? Do their lives matter? Does the future of our black babies matter? Huh? What's up? What's up? Awful quiet now, aren't they? Uh-huh. It's okay if we kill them in the womb, right? But you have a problem when you don't seem to really have a problem when we kill them on the streets. Yes, well, we know they're the same issue. If we don't respect the lives of our unborn children enough to save them and fight for them, our lives mean nothing once we're born.
Now, isn't that truth-telling? So, literally, crickets, as someone said, crickets when he said, do black babies matter through abortion? And let me tell you, there's two different approaches in life, okay, when it comes to healthcare. And I think I've talked about this, but probably not enough. There's mechanistic, quote-unquote, healthcare, and then there's vitalistic healthcare, okay? Mechanistic healthcare is medical. Mechanistic by medical looks at the body as in it's just an animal. If something doesn't work, take it out. If something doesn't work, medicate it. It's just an animal. You live for a while, you die. That's it. The medical system, by most doctors, now obviously there's some nurses, some doctors, some people who are good people and they don't look at it that way and they want to help. But medical looks at the body as if it's just a dumb animal, okay? That's all there is to it, right? Now, that's mechanistic care or mechanistic philosophy of a human being. Then there's vitalistic. Vitalistic is more chiropractic, it's nutrition, it's natural therapies, it's naturopathy, naturopathic physicians, acupuncturists, massage, anybody mostly in the natural realm. We look at things from a vitalistic standpoint, meaning vitalism, okay? Vitalism, meaning I believe, yes, that this is a body, but there's also a soul in here. There's energy going through this body that you can't even see. It's not even visible to the eye. It's a divine, right? So you have energy going through you. You have blood going through you. You have all these things going through you. And we believe that the body has an ability to heal. We also believe that once this body dies, something, you, the being, the soul, you go out to some other life. Now that's entirely up for everyone's, obviously, debate. But either way, we know that there's an energy, there's a soul to us, right? That's vitalistic care. Mechanistic, the majority of the medical system do not believe that there's anything to this other than just meat, okay? That's why it's very fascinating. They're being brainwashed that Black Lives Matter, but you have to understand, they're taught for the most part, that abortion is part of healthcare, right? That you can just get rid of some spare parts if you don't need them. Like, there is some nasty stories about what's going on in hospitals, in abortion clinics, delivering babies. And I'm not going to go into those because they're disgusting, but you can go look that stuff up for yourself. But that is the difference between mechanistic and vitalistic. And this guy just proved out that it's interesting how as soon as they brought up what was going on with babies, they all went completely silent. All right? Completely silent. Now, here's another one. I'm switching channels a little bit here. This is almost a continuation of what I spoke about last night when I talked about our school systems, especially our colleges, but the whole school system has become atrocious. The colleges are liberal Marxist schools. And by the way, even if you go to a conservative-ish school, that doesn't mean that there isn't some Marxism, that there isn't some liberal ideologies being pushed around the school, right? Now, some of you heard about the Coach Gundy from Oklahoma State and the Hubbard, the running back, that story. Now, I'm not going to dive into the original story other than the fact that the football player had a problem with his coach wearing an OAN, One American News Network shirt, because it wasn't about Black Lives Matter. He didn't like that it was a conservative shirt, basically a pro-presidential, pro-America shirt, right? Now, if you didn't see this, I believe this was actually today. This was about, I think earlier this afternoon maybe, but let me go to, this is Coach Gundy feeling like he has to give you a bit of a apology for being himself and wearing a shirt that he likes. So here we go. Let's check it out.
I had a great meeting with our team today. Our players expressed their feelings as individuals and as team members. They helped me see through their eyes how the t-shirt affected their hearts. Once I learned how that network felt about Black Lives Matter, I was disgusted and knew it was completely unacceptable to me. I want to apologize to all members of our team, former players, and their families for the pain and discomfort that has been caused over the last 2 days. Black lives matter to me. Our players matter to me. These meetings with our team have been eye-opening and will result in positive changes for Oklahoma State football. I sincerely hope the Oklahoma State family, near and far, will accept my humble apology as we move forward.
Okay, that's trash. That's now, I saw a comment, I will be happy to help your daughter in chiropractic college. I saw that comment, I want to comment on it, Kimberly. That video is trash. Do you know why that video is trash? One of the things he said in there is he said, I am sorry, essentially, paraphrasing, how those students saw what I was wearing. Dude, you're wearing a t-shirt that is a network, right? So wait, if he had worn an ESPN shirt, guess what? No problems. They would have been happy because he wore an ESPN shirt and they all want to get on ESPN in the highlight reel. But he can't wear an OAN shirt because it's perceived to be pro-Trump. Yes, Coach Gundy wore a OAN shirt and the students, the black students, did not like it because they perceive it, okay, as a pro-Trump shirt. OAN is not pro-Trump. OAN is just pro-news, and they're actually pro-America, right? That's what they actually are. This is completely trash. This is absolutely garbage. And I actually am quite ashamed of Coach Gundy for coming out and saying this. I'm sorry, guys. I can't turn off the comment pops bubble thingy. Sorry. Sometimes they go off. Sometimes they come on. So we'll deal with it. Anyway, this is where your schools have headed to. The fact that now he has to come. And Oklahoma State University is actually technically a very conservative college from what I understood. Guess what? They have stolen everything. I guarantee you Coach Gundy is a very conservative individual. He probably liked OAN. He said that he liked it because it was very just journalistic integrity, right? He probably watched it, got a shirt, or someone he knows there got it for him. He got called out, and then he probably got a talking to by the athletic director, because athletic directors are garbage too. And trust me, I will tell you right now, I worked in the sports world. I worked in college sports. I worked in college football, right? It is a good old boy network. But I will tell you, this good old boy network is part of the globalist elite system. They do what they're told. These coaches do what they're told. That is how the system works. I've been in the system, okay? I've seen some of it. But he literally, that is the equivalent of kneeling down for everybody. And I will tell you, last night I said I might be done with sports. I will be happy to let sports go for good if we have to. I know a lot of people out there, and trust me, I like some sports. I'll watch a golf tournament on the weekend here or there. I watch baseball. I don't watch a lot anymore. I watch a NASCAR race. I'll watch off and on. I have no intention currently of going back to anything sports at this point because of how they are literally bowing down to the system. Now, above on that tweet, Chanel Rion from OAN, she actually is headed to Tulsa this weekend to go to Oklahoma State. She said, "You and your team called my network disgusting. Millions of Americans would like to understand why. I propose a roundtable civil discourse with you and your team on OAN network. Happy to accommodate your schedule." So Chanel Rion, who's a real journalist, is actually willing to go in to Tulsa to have a sit down with the entire administration and put it on the network, because they called her channel disgusting, because they are willing to tell you the real news. Is that not, so by the way, just so you know, I am doing everything in my power right now to support OAN. I am going to actually turn off all of my other news sources. So I look at Zero Hedge on off and on. OAN I look at every day. RT I look at off and on, and then I look at Bongino Report sometimes, and then a whole bunch of different YouTube stuff. Okay, so I go to Fox Business only to look at the stock market off maybe once a week just to see what it's doing, or on my phone. I don't go to Fox News anymore. I don't go to Drudge anymore because it's all trash. I haven't gone to CNN's I go there every once in a while, once every few months, just to see the trash that they're throwing, and that's about it. Oklahoma State has fallen. Your colleges have fallen. They are collapsing. They follow the draconian rule of law. I read some information this morning from my buddy Dr. Mike Reed that I actually have to filter through to figure out how I'm going to drop this information on you, because this stuff is all just the superficial information of how the world works. And when you find out how this stuff actually works behind the scenes, it is going to challenge every single person's narrative, to the point where I had to sit back a little bit and go, wow, I didn't know that's how that was working. This was so big that I had to go start looking at the Space Force logo again and really understanding every little detail on that logo and what it meant, because this is not just a political movement. This is biblical from a viewpoint many will not ever comprehend. As we go through this, every single narrative that you've ever been given is going to be challenged, and it's up to you to understand that you have to be willing to look at it. And yeah, this is just a college story. It goes so deep. So deep. Okay? Now, let me show you another clip of what your kids have turned into. let's see here. Okay, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna. So this is what I'm gonna do. You saw it once. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to explain to you what you just saw, and then I'm gonna let you watch it again after I explain to you what you just saw the first time. Okay, so let me explain to you what you just saw. Okay, you saw a girl, 18, 20, 25, I don't know, they look the same at this point, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, ready? I'm gonna show it to you again, but I want to tell you ahead of time what you just really saw. You saw a girl with her left hand covering her face, protecting her mouth and her nose with an orange peel. Okay, this is Chaz. She has an orange peel over her face. She doesn't like what's being preached, and I don't know if they're preaching gospel or if they're preaching like patriot. I don't know what they're preaching. I can't fully tell on the video, right? She hates it so much that she does this, like, let me get my leg up, that this leg karate chop. It's something out of Elaine Bennis on Seinfeld with the dancing. It's horrendous. She kicks midair, then she gets closer, and she gets so angry that she can't express herself that she like kneels down and like flips him off, and then she backs off again, and then she still is so upset that she comes up, and I think she still, with face on mask, orange peel, she swings at the person holding the phone. So let's go back to it, okay? Let's show you again now that you know what's going on. That's your children, America. That's what college spits out. Your kids would be better off sitting at home on their asses watching YouTube videos all day, learning how to cook and learning how to clean and learning how to shoot a gun and making a garden and raising animals and living in the woods, and they would be smarter than what you just saw on video. She is holding a orange peel over her face, and then at the end when she takes a swipe at, she probably is on drugs. Some people think that was Bev preaching. I don't know if it was or not. When it swings to the right on the camera, it looked like a hand was out and it looked like the hand was white. I don't know if that was Bev, but it sounds like Bev behind maybe the scene. So maybe Bevelyn is so intense and so good at preaching that this girl couldn't handle. I still can't get past the orange peel and the random ninja kick, and then so upset, but she can't do anything about it, that she just kneels down and she like throws a wicked like middle finger. These are your kids, folks. These are your, not all of your kids. Some of your kids are amazing. I'm just letting you know this is the BS that your colleges are pushing out. They get them. So this is what they do. They get them. So these schools, by the way, and trust me, I was in a very liberal college in upstate New York, SUNY Cortland, and I remember having like literature courses and philosophy courses and all this different stuff, and they're total trash. and they get you like they get you doing so bad on the test that you start questioning yourself. And then you're studying so much, you're burning every single possible amount of cortisol and adrenaline out of your body. So your body starts tanking. You're eating terrible food. Next thing you know, your brain doesn't work. Right? Their brain doesn't work. And now you feel depressed. You feel sad. You feel anxious because you're trying to pass freaking tests that don't make any sense. Right? Then they have you go to the psychiatrist who drugs you out of your friggin' mind with street narcotics, and then they get you basically into a psychosis. That girl is so deficient on every nutrient in nutrition. She's probably medicated. She's probably, I will almost guarantee you, she's on at least one psychotropic medication that is destroying her brain to the point where she can't rationally think. She can't listen to someone with a separate viewpoint of hers without flipping out. Her muscles are clearly not working correctly because she gets all intense and she just expresses it by kneeling down and like throwing a bird. Like, what is that? That is a quickly diseasing individual who is having the life sucked out of them by a school system, a society, a Marxist liberal radical agenda that tells them that we actually live in a democracy, and a democracy is bad, even though we're not a democracy, we're a republic. But a democracy is bad, and not only is it bad, we should actually be in communism and anarchy. I talked to a friend today, and he said what's actually going to happen is they're going to push this anarchy thing, and then we're going to say, no, anarchy is not good. And I will tell you right now, I have a feeling that the deep state is going to attack these anarchists to try to fight back. And they're going to try to get you to not accept anarchy, but they're going to get you to accept one level up, which is communism. That's what they're trying to do with these kids. The deep state doesn't want anarchy. They want one level up, which is communism. That's what they want. That's what they're going for. I saw some videos tonight on Twitter that I'm not showing you, quite honestly, because not that I don't think you can handle them. It's I don't want to show them because they're disgusting. One is person being shot. Another one is a couple young, it seems like young gentlemen, literally being beat almost to death. And this is happening on the streets in the city right now. And we are getting fully out of control in the city. And I won't show you because it's too negative. They're drugging these kids. It's bad. And I want you to know that we have to change this. This is up to us. We allowed this to happen. We must now be the movement that changes it for the better. Get our kids back into home. Get our kids back into our dome of influence, our sphere of influence. We have to change them back. And then we have to build young children up the right way. Man, if you go watch Bevelyn's video in Chaz, but also the one last night where she went on for 21 minutes, that was incredible, right? And it doesn't matter what faith you follow, what religion you are. If you can't get on with what Bevelyn is saying, I don't know what to tell you, because she's a rock star. And she is going to be one of the amazing young people in this world that is going to help change everything. She could be one of the... I think she's on Laura Ingraham tonight, by the way. I didn't see it, but I believe she's on Laura Ingraham. Now, let me show you what's also happening. And as we go into this, we're going to head off a little early tonight. I'm only going to show you a couple things. I'm going to end with something really fun, okay? Here we go. Minnesota Freedom Fund reveals only 200,000 of the millions in donations has been spent to bail out protesters. So, there was apparently upwards, I don't know if it's in this article, yeah. So, many said that the Minnesota Freedom Fund had collected upwards of $35 million. $35 million they collected. How much did they give out? They gave out $200 million. Where is the others 34,800,000? See, I was raised to do math correctly, so I can actually do math in my head and know that 200,000 minus 35 million is 34,800,000, because all of us actually learned how to count, unlike the Common Core kids of the last 5+ years. Okay, so how much money is missing? Where did this money go? And I think this actually ties into what Candace and several others were talking about on Twitter last week. Is I think the other money got dumped into the Democratic campaigns. Okay, I think it got dumped into the Democratic campaigns. That's where I think it went. All right, so $200,000 out to the protesters, 34,800,000 probably off to campaign donations. How crazy would that be? That's where we are right now. Okay? Yes, Act Blue. That was one of the ones that Candace was talking about. This is a complete abomination. $34+ million. Essentially embezzled. That's really what you call it. Okay? Essentially embezzled. Unbelievable. Let me take you into my last story of the night. Okay? Here we go. I told you it was a doozy. So there are at least 36 intelligent alien civilizations in our galaxy, say scientists. Now, I think there's far more than that. And Paul Hellyer talks about this. Now, this was dropped on June 15th, okay? The oldest and greatest cosmic question of all, is there anybody out there? All right, now, you can go into this article. The article just talks about a lot of science and research and everything else. I'm not going to go through it all necessarily. However, I am trading back and forth. Information with my buddy Dr. Mike Reed about, and I'm going to compile some of this before I go live with it, because some people do not like me talking about aliens, I found out, which I don't really care at the end of the day, but I think it's important to know, because the Great Awakening is going to be a very great awakening. Now, here you go. Let me give you some background in this, okay? Paul Hellyer, one of the original, not a prime minister, I don't remember what he was, out of Canada, he talked about 50 plus, all right? I did not apologize in advance. It is impossible via math to not have other beings in the galaxy and the universe. Okay, now there's two sides to this. Okay, one of the reasons I think they're starting to dump this information, and this is Forbes. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not a big Forbes fan, right? I think I'm going to ask a question after this, because I want to know something, because someone just made a comment. I'm fascinated by that comment. Okay. Okay. Now, this could be starting to disclose enough where they set up Project Bluebeam. Yes, I totally understand that. They might be setting it up because this could be the disinfo they're setting up. Okay. Now, this also, I have to tell you, it doesn't matter if Project Bluebeam happens or not. Guys, there's ETs, there's aliens out there. It is what it is. Some are roaming already amongst Earth. This is not just me saying this. Go look at the body of evidence. I mean, go look at Schneider. I'm forgetting his first name. On YouTube. Okay. Go look at Schneider's work. I don't have it. I put it away. I think I put it away. I always put books. Behold a Pale Horse. William Cooper talks about this, okay? They're here. They're already here. Our presidents have met with them in the past, okay? Just so you know. Now, either way, at some point, we're going to know the truth. At some point. Now, I'm not going to go deeper in this because obviously this goes down a whole rabbit hole. This is why I'm looking more into Space Force. Still Schneider, thank you. This is why I'm going more into Space Force. This is why the DUMBs are there. The underground tunnels, which we'll go more into as we go. Okay, this is how the planet works. Now, I get a combination of this is not biblical, in that they're just fallen angel guys. It's in the Bible about. So I have again a couple people who are more into the theology, and I've talked to them, and I said, "Well, what do you think?" And they're like, "Of course, there's ET. Like this is logical. Like this is." Anybody who studies and follows the Bible and is not seeing, even though the Bible has been altered, doesn't see that there's something else or other things that were here, is not reading technically correctly, okay? The pyramids did not just get there. They were not, that technology was not just built by man. There was help, okay? The Nephilim, there's a whole bunch of different names for them that I'll go into later. I don't have enough of the stuff tonight to go over it. But a lot of people say that it's too scary for them. It freaks them out. They're scared of what they're going to see. They might be scared of what they're going to have to confront. However, I have to ask people, why are you scared? Why are you worried? Because they've already been around. I mean, we've had civilizations that have already dealt with this a long time ago. Okay. But are you scared because you're legitimately scared because it's something new and you haven't seen before? Or are you scared because it could challenge the narrative of life? Because we did not create a Space Force just to chill in outer space. And we definitely did not get a Space Force to fight the Russians and the Chinese. That's not necessary. Not from up there. And if you actually go to Space Force, some of the websites, it actually tells you that they're dealing with stuff outside of this planet. So the demonic question, that's a whole other thing, but not all ETs are demonic. Okay, there's beings. There's billions of planets just in our galaxy alone, and there's billions upon billions upon billions of galaxies outside of our galaxy. It is mathematically impossible to not have ETs/aliens. Just not. If that would be, it's not mathematically possible from a scientific standpoint. So, I actually had the question about, does it alter your belief in God? No. Why would it alter my belief in God? I believe God is big enough that God can create as much as God wanted to create. So I'm not trying to challenge anybody's opinion. I'm trying to actually break this down from a scientific, logical, analytical. The reason why I'm doing this is not to challenge everybody. The reason I'm doing this is everyone talks about the Great Awakening. You have been suppressed as a society for thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. And you are not just suppressed by man. You're suppressed. Do you think man is evil enough to simply do some of the crazy stuff that we hear about in the news, from pedogate to adrenochrome to you name it? I know some people who do some pretty crazy, nasty stuff, or not that I know them, but I know of them. But being a believer in God and Christ does not make you not be able to be a believer in that there's something else out there, and we have been suppressed from it. Go watch the documentaries. Go watch. Here, hold on a second. have you read this book? Have you read this book? The reason why I ask you if you've read this book, the deep state took this man out. William Cooper, right here. They killed him. All right? When you go into here, into his book, okay, he gives you FBI documentation. Okay, this is not just his pretty picture. This is FBI. This is CIA. This is, which one? This is the Air Force Base. This is out of Norton Air Force Base. Where is the other one here? He has a whole bunch of stuff on. Some of it's this is actually one of these has the president's signature on it. JFK, as Dr. Mike Reed told us, and we talked about, which I've heard as well. JFK asked for the UFO documentation days before he was shot in the head. Okay, but this now, where is the? He has a chapter named on it. I'm sorry, I didn't expect to pull this book up, so you have to give me a second to find my pages, and I may not be able to find them now. Anyway, this is where he talked. This is the lake that he actually saw ships come out of. Now, the reason I brought this up is because he was in the Navy. William Cooper was in the Navy. He also he talks in here. He is a Christian man, right? He studied his Bible. He believed in God, in Jesus Christ, and he still saw it with his own eyes, okay? The reason I'm bringing this up is because at some point I have to go down this road because I'm getting more and more information, and then I'm getting more information on Space Force. Yeah, sorry, the book is Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. It should be required reading for everybody in America. All right? Required reading. Okay? So, Behold a Pale Horse. Just like Nikola Tesla, there's documentation out there. Nikola Tesla was sending communication signals out into the universe, and he didn't even know where he was sending it to. And all of a sudden, he was getting communication back from somewhere, and he didn't know what it was, so he couldn't decipher it. And it wasn't just static. He actually was getting legitimate communication back. Okay? We have to understand the Great Awakening is far deeper than you could ever possibly imagine. All right? Good. I will take some questions tonight, guys. I will take some questions. I'll answer anything the best I can. Obviously, healthcare stuff I can answer really easy and fast versus anything else. Depends on if I have it in my head or if I if I have to go look it up, which I might have to go look up for you, okay? Go get Behold a Pale Horse, okay? Good. Yes, other dimensions, planes, spiritual realms, correct. Yes, Nikola Tesla is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. Absolutely. Good job, Kathy. I like that comment. Yes, they did kill Bill Cooper. RH Negative we'll probably talk about towards the end of the week. I love some of your comments. Blood pressure meds. We just got to fix them. That's all. My best story on blood pressure meds is my wife's father, who was on them for 40 years and no longer takes them. And he's in his 70s with no medication. I heard that what's her face was supposed to be arrested, but I don't think she actually was. How do I treat blood pressure naturally? Lots of different ways. It depends on what's going on with you. I have so many cardiovascular products, it's amazing. So it depends. A lot of times blood pressure is affected by heavy metals. Got to clean those out. Okay. Do I have a place where it's all compiled? Working on that. There's so much stuff. Okay, so I don't want any, by the way, some people are saying that they're struggling with their faith over this. Please don't struggle with your faith. Okay, so I grew up with the same faith that many of you did, okay? It doesn't challenge my faith at all. I mean, I personally believe that God is big enough to do anything God darn well pleases to do. And I think we've had many teachers over the eons of time. And I believe Christ came to teach us all exactly how this is supposed to go down. Okay, I talk in cool terms. I'm not good at speaking like a. I grew up in a little community church where they spoke like kind of like not a Southern preacher, but kind of like I just was never good at talking like that. So I kind of talk about like Jesus is a cool dude, but we were all supposed to learn. Everyone from every faith should have learned from Jesus Christ. Like, he was here. He was the one who put it down, right? I'm actually most fascinated by the fact that he took out the money changers. I think that's such a gigantic picture in time. But in no way should the idea or thought of being not alone in this universe affect your faith. Keep your faith strong. I don't care where your faith comes from. I don't care what. Keep in mind, there are people all over the world from different countries with different faiths, and quite honestly, no one should leave the faith that they personally believe is the way to go. Right now, it does not matter whatever one person can think, that there is no way you go forward without thinking one specific way. Again, I don't necessarily fully abide by that rule because I know a lot of people. Just in my chiropractic world alone, you have to understand, I have colleagues who are from faith and spiritualities you've never even heard of. And these people help people get well every single day. They're loving parents. They're loving spouses. They serve their community. They serve all those around them. And sorry, I don't believe that they're going to hell because they don't believe the exact same thing that somebody else does. I just can't believe that because I know them in their heart. They're amazing human beings. And so no one's faith should be challenged by having to have an open mind. Remember, that's the same with this whole Black Lives Matter thing. Okay? Now, they're pushing an agenda, but we don't look at another race and think that they're bad because they have a different skin color. The same thing should be with faith. You should be able to sit down with somebody from a different faith and have a perfectly good conversation with them, and for no reason at all to judge them. And you shouldn't be judging yourself because you're struggling with something. It just means that you need to go into prayer, you need to go into meditation, and you need to find the struggle you're having personally, okay? Get help with that however you need to, whether it's a counselor, your pastor, your church, doesn't matter. And you should find a way to get yourself through that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean you have to change your faith, but you should have an open mind to knowledge. Knowledge and faith, they're very actually different things, okay? You can have your faith all day long. I have people who have very different faiths than I do, right? And they truly believe in it, and it's not the same as me. However, they are open to knowledge. Okay, they're open to knowledge. Being open to knowledge is so important. And you know what? Somebody wrote, Kimberly, thank you. God knows your heart. That is probably the thing that sums it up the best, is if your heart is in the right spot, you're going good places. That's how I look at it. Okay, so don't let it challenge your faith. Please don't. I mean, get somewhere. Get with someone who can help you through that struggle, or you go to God personally. You go to Jesus Christ personally. Whoever your person is of your faith, and you go there and you get that right in your head, because we need you as part of this great awakening. We need you helping everyone else around you to wake up to this system, okay? You have to. That's how this works, all right? Good. I didn't answer as many questions as I wanted to, but I had to rant a little bit because I believe our job is to support each other. Guess what? The founders did not all have the same faith. Did they destroy each other? No, they did not. They created a country out of it. Right? We allow immigrants into our country from all over the planet, and we do not judge them when they come in if they come in the right way. If they come in legally, I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what kind of food you eat. I don't care who you pray to or what you pray to. If you are doing good for our fellow man, welcome to the show. Let's make it happen. Okay? Good. Guys, I love you all. You're the best. Let me know if you need any help. We'll take care of you. We're here for you. Awesome. Have a wonderful night. I hope that wasn't too over the top. I just went there. It felt right. So that's what we got to do. We have to go out and change the world. That's our job. We must save our country, restore our republic, and then save the planet in the process and create. Please, let's create better kids. Let's create kids that are not ninja kicking air and wearing orange peels for masks. Okay? That's what we have to do. Guys, have a lovely evening. Be good. Tomorrow, David Rodriguez, 2 o'clock. It might be a very cringe-worthy interview because he's a really good guy. He knows some stuff, and we're going to go there, okay? Have a wonderful night, guys. Take care. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network. Bye-bye.